Beals here with no nonsense, cause you can't make sense if you don't make sense. A pod with freestyle discussion, poetry and social deconstruction.
Hello podcasters, thank you for choosing the No Nonsense podcast to listen to at this given time. I am your host, we're present here at this end for 19116. Today we're going to start off with a nice little poem. Take it away, Beals. Thanks. I will. When you look at guys that play basketball, you say, man, those guys, they're real tall. They have big jerseys, and they're always in the paint. That's right. Today I'm talking about saints. Saints. They're people that have lived in history that are very noble in their Catholic cause. Catholic is the worldwide religion, what stands for worldwide of Christianity. And there were people that were called saints that did amazing things for the religion, that were very kind people, and some people who really weren't that amazing, but were deemed saints. Brian, let me ask you this controversial question. Somebody like Gandhi, who was never a Christian, was a very noble man. Should he be inducted into sainthood via a standard brand where they take a piece of hot iron and they heat it up and they burn the skin of every individual in India because Gandhi isn't alive? Or should they induce him with anesthesia over his dead corpse?
I think they should give him a brand, Beals, but it should be a different branding than your typical Saint fanfare. And what he should be receiving is a New Orleans Saints logo on his side, and that will be the new Saint logo. And speaking of which, Meta World Peace is also at the forefront of the Saint industry, and he should be getting a medal as well, because if peace is in his name.
Meta World Peace, I hear from the panel, is going to be getting a special brand today. You can watch it live on ESPN about 3 p.m. What they're going to do is they're going to take a Saint brand, which is a clothing company, and they're going to take the brand and they're going to shove it right in his mouth and burn the back of his mouth with peace and love.
And happiness and joy.
If there was somebody in the world that you said is the closest to a saint, who would they be?
Aaron Rodgers.
If Aaron Rodgers was in this car right now and said, I could throw a touchdown pass no matter where I'm at, would you allow him to do it?
Yes, I would, and I'd automatically think that he gets a ticket into heaven.
Do you think that just because you're a saint that you belong in Congress?
I think the Congress bills are based on the duck paradigm meshed with the wireframes of unadulterated crime rates of the black urban youth soccer mom movement.
If I were a duck and I wanted to be a soccer mom with a black child, do I have to be a saint, or do I just ask Aaron Rodgers to pass me a pass in the end zone of an AutoZone parking lot?
I'd say any AutoZone or Napa Auto Parts will do. Those ducks do have quite good flyers on them, Bill, and They can use that to replicate the trajectory of your typical football path.
Okay, so if I was in the middle of the street and I got hit by a car and then Aaron Rodgers threw me a pass from a Saints quarterback, Drew Brees, would I be able to actually insert the pass inside a Post-it sticker, or would I have to go to Andy's Shoe Repair and have him repair the Post-it sticker?
Andy's Shoe Repair is an all-encompassing of any type of repairs that you need, unless you have a fiduciary concern relating to the embroiled batterments of the urban chronicle decentralized suburbanites.
I don't know, these suburbanites, the people that have fibromyalgia.
Yeah, they do have the mileage there, Bill, and it's quite sad because I'm looking at trying to increase fibromyalgia funding for this country, but I'm getting stuff thrown in my face from John Oliver. And normally John Oliver is a reasonable man, but apparently...
A saint, I believe, right?
Yeah, a saint, a New Orleans saint.
Time now for a news break!
News coming from the music industry.
Music streaming services such as Spotify are acquiescing to the emerging comeback of the 8-track tape. Young music listeners claim they can't fathom how they lost faith in the reliable 8-track and would prefer it over streaming services since you can sometimes lose cell coverage. Also, you have the added bonus of the naming convention instilling warm fuzzy feelings of positive reinforcement with the 8 label by either making young people feel as if they have the ability to race in a NASCAR race or really well in Mario Kart 8. Spotify is looking to innovate their service to compete with the towering figure that is the 8-track tape.
Let me ask you something there, John. If I were to go to buy some caulk over at a local grocery store and I asked the cashier behind the counter if she'd give me a little peck on the cheek, you think she'd do it?
I think she'd give you a little peck in the cheek and a little lips on the tip. And let me tell you why. Because she enjoys your company. Sexually. In case you didn't pick up on it.
If I were a saint, would I interrupt you more often?
If you're a saint,
Let me ask you this: if I could mow a lawn in under 10 minutes with only a pair of tweezers and a fiber optic nerve cell, would you hire me on the job?
yeah, I would, and but I'd also fire you the same day too because you didn't bring your Kool-Aid supplies.
Let me ask you this: how long does it take for me to clip my nails in the morning?
That's usually about a 22.5 minute endeavor unless you get the roto-cuff surgery.
And who was the one who invented the rotocuff surgery?
That's Dr. Barnbill.
And where can we find Dr. Barnbill today?
We can find them under the construction zones in the Himalayan mountains.
Is that where you become a saint, or is that where the saints go?
That's where the Saints go to make the movie go.
Are they marching in?
They're marching with the Penguins.
Are they marching in March, or are they marching in May?
They're May field flowers coming to America.
If I were to go to Omaha Door and Window right now and I said, hey, can I borrow your clippers, would they allow me to borrow them?
They'll let you borrow their clippers, but they'll also let you borrow their flippers.
If Flipper was a saint, would he have more money in the paint, or would he have more money in the taint?
He would taint his contemporaries in a bad light.
Do saints have taints?
Saints have taints, but they also know how to paint with oil color, along with Turt in the digital revolution.
If I were going to use pastel on a saint, would he turn into paint?
It could be argued that he might turn into paint, but then he might redeem himself through vouchers from Arby's on the subprime mortgage-based double back loans.
Now, is Arby's going to be releasing the vaginal roast beef sandwich, or are they just going to be releasing the crust roast beef sandwich brought to you by Vaginal Regions?
They're going to open those roast beef curtains and let you right on in.
Thank you there, Burn. That sounds like a very interesting insight. Now, let's have a poem by Big Burn. Let's call it Saint.
Every saint has a past and every sinner has a future. So get off my fucking ass, you losers.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Hope you got some insight and a few laughs. That's all for now, folks. Yes, goodbye. Till next time, as long as we don't die.